right, for today, Monday, April 13th, we are going to reread Papa, Please Get the Moon for Me, and we're going to write a letter to Monica. So, our vocabulary words are still posted on Class Dojo, but I will post the full set again for this week. Days 1 through 12, and then days 13 through 19. Today is day 19, and we do not have any new words that we are adding to this today. So you're going to refer back to days 1 through 18 to get your vocabulary needs for the task today. All right, so Papa, please get the moon for me. So right here, there are some very small illustrations. What do these illustrations show us? These 5 specifically. Before Monica went to bed, she looked out of her window and saw the moon. The moon looked so near. I wish I could play with the moon, thought Monica, and reached for it. So, what phase is the moon in right now? Do you think on this page? And how do you know? No matter how much she stretched, she could not touch the moon. Papa, said Monica to her father, please get the moon for me. Papa got a very long ladder. He carried the very long ladder towards a very high mountain. Then Papa put the very long ladder on top of the very high mountain. Up and up and up he climbed. Finally, Papa got to the moon. My daughter Monica would like to play with you, said Papa, but you are much too big. Every night I get a little smaller, said the moon. When I am just the right size, you can take me with you. So, on this page, when Papa finally got to the moon, what phase is the moon probably in? And how do you know? And indeed, the moon got smaller and smaller and smaller. So what phase is the moon probably in now? It says, every night I get a little smaller. What do you think the moon meant by that? When the moon was just the right size, Papa took it. And down and down and down he climbed. Here, said Papa to Monica, I have the moon for you. Monica jumped and danced with the moon. She hugged the moon and threw it in the air. But the moon kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and finally it disappeared altogether. What phase of the moon do you think is occurring now? How do you know? Did the moon really disappear? Then one night, Monica saw a thin sliver of the moon reappear. What is happening to the moon now? How do you know? Each night the moon grew. And grew and grew. So what phase is it the moon in now? And how do you know? What phase is occurring here? And why? Do you think the phases of the moon are a pattern? Why or why not? Are the moon phases a pattern that we can predict? Why? After you finish reading and answering those questions, our task for today is going to be task number 19, and it asks us to write a letter to Monica, explaining what is actually happening when the moon, to the moon over the course of the story. Be sure to name your topic, supply some facts, explaining why the pattern of the moon phases occur, include vocabulary, and a sense of closure. So an example would sound like this. Dear Monica, the moon doesn't actually change shape. It goes through a pattern of phases. The moon reflects light from the sun. When we see less of that light that is reflected, the moon looks smaller. This is called waning. When we see more of the light that is reflected, the moon looks bigger. This is called waxing. The pattern of the moon phases happens because the moon orbits the earth. The moon is important, so it must stay in the sky. Your friend, Miss Gregg. If you all need any help or have any questions about this task or this book today, let me know.